McCulloch on defense with Ekman Larsson. The puck played into the Vancouver zone. Miller out for an early touch to Bieksa and ahead to Vrbata. He finds Stanton, who skates his way through center on the left wing with a wrist shot, gloved by Dubnyk, and he'll hang on for an early whistle 18 seconds in. Another face-off to the right of Devan Dubnyk. Martin Hanzal drew that one back, but Richardson onto the puck. He throws it in front. Hamhuis with a shot, kicked out by Dubnyk. Mathias on the rebound. Now Richardson spins with a shot. He couldn't get it through. Mathias couldn't quite get to the puck. And Erat throws one ahead. Tobias Rieder in on the left wing, working on Yannick Weber. Rieder drops to Hanzal. Down for Erat. Blue line feed. Yandel with a shot. Miller had a little trouble with it as it came through the screen in front, but he's able to make the save and hang on. Canucks still looking to get out of their power play funk. 2 for 20 in the last 7 games. Although they're still ranked 4th overall at home, they're down to 17th in the NHL. There's a long shot from Edler, stopped by Dubnyk. So a new look here. Oh, no, sorry, he's not. Bieksa's out there. He was just on a foray up the ice. Bieksa stationed at the point. Now the puck ricochets to him on the left side. Centers, Higgins, quick shot. That grazed the outside of the net. Puck cleared around the boards and all the way down the ice. And Yandel has it for Arizona. Stanton breaks that up. Canucks have 3 to center. Bonino recovers to take the pass. Higgins cuts in front. Backhander stopped by Dubnyk. Rebound. He couldn't get it home as well. Now Gagne to Ekman Larsson. 35 seconds to go in the power play. Erat pass towards the goal line, disrupted by Edler, but the Coyotes regain control of the puck, and here's Yandel. To the other side, Sam Gagne with a shot, handled by Miller. And no rebound for Martin Hanzal in front. Puck to the sideboards. And Shane Doan after it there, taken away by Mathias, who tips it forward and now chases after Connor Murphy. Gets the puck ahead. Jensen down the left side. Wrist shot, handled by Dubnyk. And he's able to cover with Mathias going hard to the front of the net. Centering, and Burrows checked by Keith Yandel as the pass came towards him. Yandel now leads the rush to center. Slows inside the line. Centers, Hanzal scores! Martin Hanzal off the pass from Keith Yandel, and it's 1-0 Arizona.
And you can see Alex Burrows' reaction on this one. He's right with Martin Hanzal. Has him all the way, and yet the pass gets through, and Burrows doesn't lay a hand on him. He reaches out, and it's too late then. And there's Hanzal. Good play, takes it on the forehand. It goes right by Alex Burrows, who loses Hanzal right at the last second, and look at his reaction.
Giving up the opening goal. This is game number 18, and the Canucks are 6-3 in the 9 previous. Daniel Sedin right wide to Henry. Drops for Vrbata. Puts it on the forehand. He shoots, and a blocker saved by Dubnyk. Miller taps that puck to Tannen. Final 30 seconds of the opening period. Canucks trailing 1-0. Richardson steps in and bowls over Vermette. He might be staring at something along those lines in the absence of Yandel for 2 periods. Here's Sean Mathias. Richardson comes out front. 2 shots and a third. Couldn't get it through. First one was stopped by the left pad of Dubnyk. Yannick Weber with a long blast, just missed as he unloaded from the blue line. It was Sam Gagne going to the net. Klinkhammer centers. Gagne might have just had a little tug on the arm from Bonino as the pass came across and couldn't make contact with the puck. Other way, just onside is Edler sending one on goal, stopped by Dubnyk. Edler again to Nick Bonino. He shoots, stopped by Dubnyk on the short side. And Stanton has a towel to his face, so might have been clipped. Here's Yandel trying to get around Hamhuis, who was able to knock the puck away. Ryan Stanton going to head to the Vancouver dressing room as Murphy unloads a shot, deflected and stopped by Miller. The rebound put wide by Bottker, which is knocked down by Connor Murphy. Ekman Larsson sends the puck the other way. Crombeen moves in, finds Vitale, who tried to center for McMillan. That was blocked. Crombeen again towards the goal, grabbed and held by Miller, who's going to react to that. He flips one in. Erat off the bench, hustles after the puck, but Bieksa beats him to it and passes around for Dan Hamhuis. Puck out to center. Hamhuis collects it. Now Bonino to Burrows. Slap shot, stick save, Dubnyk. Holding the line is Yannick Hansen. Down for Higgins. Being checked by Hanzal, gives up the puck to Bottker. And this is turning into a 2-on-1 with Korpikoski. Front blocker stopped by Miller with a left pad, and he's able to freeze the puck. Doan out on the ice right now as the puck comes back to Murphy. Left point Yandel, and over to Murphy again. Down for Gagne, who tested Miller from a sharp angle. Daniel Sedin to Henrik Sedin, quickly ahead of Vrbata. Moving in on McCullough. Henrik leads for Daniel. Henrik again, Bieksa, slap shot, tipped and then stopped. Loose puck comes in front as Vrbata chopped at it, and it's grabbed and held onto by Dubnyk. Here's Hansel. Back to Murphy, quickly to Yandel, slap pass, and Hansel couldn't make contact in front. Coyotes hold the puck in. Hansel back to Yandel, another shot. Miller off the blocker, juggled it, and then grabbed the puck for the whistle. Now Gormley trying to poke the puck away, helps it up the boards. Weber moves down from the right point. Gagne able to pick up the puck, send it ahead. Weber hustling back as the Coyotes look for an odd man rush. Here's a big rebound to Gagne, and diving out was Burrows to make the defensive play after the rebound off the right pad of Miller. Higgins at the other end of the ice, waiting for help. Sends one across. Jensen off the bench, finds some room on the left wing. Now centers the puck. Higgins stopped by Dubnyk. What a pass by Jensen, but Higgins couldn't put it home. They've lost the second each time, and the one time they lost the first game, they won the second. So you're on to something, I think. Erat to Reeder, deflected in. Ryan Miller's arguing high stick, but it's 2-0 Arizona. And the officials are going to congregate and make sure that's the case.
Martin Hansel is cruising through.
And Miller might have a case.
Martin Hansel's a big guy, but it's the crossbar. Doesn't matter shoulders on Martin Hansel. It's a crossbar. That's a high stick.
I think Ryan Miller might win this argument.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Look where his glove was. He was tracking the puck.
Yeah, that's definitely a high stick, and it's off the blade of the stick.
After review, decision stands on the ice. Good goal.
Oh, man. Wow.
That changes the complexion of this one big time. Now Hansel's in again with a wrist shot. Scores! He's got a hat trick now. Martin Hansel with the second hat trick of his career, and it's 3-0 Coyotes.
Well, boy, right from the faceoff after the Hansel's celebration goal on the tip-in goal, Canucks jump up and Nick Bonino gets trapped. And it's off the inside of the arm of Ryan Miller.
2 goals in 9 seconds for Martin Hansel. Henrik Sedin killing penalty with Daniel. Lost the puck to Ekman Larsson. Daniel interfered with Ekman Larsson a bit, and then Ekman Larsson stepped into Bieksa. Gagne again. Down for Doan, who sent one across the top of the crease. Here's Gagne again. Dying seconds. Doan shoots. He scores! Shane Doan on a one-timer. And it's 4-0 Arizona with 2.7 seconds to go in the second.
Sam Gagne, a beautiful pass to Shane Doan, and Shane Doan is only he can do. Off the post and in again. Gagne to Doan, one-timer, off the toe of the stick, perfect shot.
19:57, the time of the goal.
You see Shane Doan get those feet ready to let it rip.
Works his way down, passes to Daniel Sedin, over to Henrik, and back to Edler. Passes to Vrbata. Wrist shot, handled, rebound. Vey passes to Vrbata, back to Edler. Takes the shot, Vrbata lets it go, and Dubnyk the save, no rebound. 35 seconds to go in the power play. Henrik Sedin back to Edler, wrist shot wide. Vrbata off the left wing. Edler again lets it go, and Dubnyk able to get a big piece of it steered to the corner. Henrik Sedin trying to work the puck forward, gets it to Vrbata, now to Daniel. Edler to trailer, Daniel tries a shot, a weak one off the stick of Ekman Larsson, and then the pad of Dubnyk. Daniel broke his stick taking that shot. Brandon McMillan with the puck, chips it off the glass and out. Here's Vitale trying to find some room on the right wing. Vitale centers for Crombie, and that came off Weber, and Miller had to hold the puck out. Vitale again, back to Stone, slap shot, right pad saved by Ryan Miller. Stripped of the puck by Connor Murphy. Yandel back to the near side, Korpikoski. Moving in on hand use and put the hip into him and sent Korpikoski flying. Down for Gagne. Tried to go across the crease for Bodker, who gets the puck in the corner. Back to Yandel. Slap shot, scores! Klinkhammer was in front. Not sure if he tipped it. A slapper from Yandel, and it's 5-0.
I think he did. I think it goes up and over Ryan Miller off the stick of Klinkhammer in front. 5-on-3. Creates some traffic. This pass is almost picked off, but gets by. And a little wrist shot hit his side. Hit the hip of Klinkhammer. Yandel shoots it. Good screen, and it's off Klinkhammer and by Ryan Miller.
It just appeared to brush his pants as it went by him in the slot.
Did seem to change direction.
We're not doing well with the video
No, we
reviews
are
today.
We are.
Not our night. Here's Gagne and wrist shot. Miller out to challenge, handles that one. And this game will come to an end. The third time in his career that Devan Dubnyk has shut out the Vancouver Canucks. It's the 9th shutout of his career. He stops 35, and Martin Hanzal a natural hat trick, including 2 goals in 9 seconds, as the Coyotes beat the Canucks 5-0.